It's a well-known saying that what goes around comes around. How we deal with others in our lives will eventually come back to us. I'm sure you've noticed when you do a good deed, good things happen in your life, such as an unexpected gift or a pleasant surprise. And in the same way, a selfish deed returns an unfortunate outcome. However, good deeds should not be done only with the intention of receiving profit. This story is about a woman named Rosa who worked for a house cleaning company in New York City. She always did her job well, was never lazy, and cleaned each apartment as if it were her own. Rosa cleaned every corner, which made each customer very happy. They were glad to have such a sweet and diligent woman working for them. However, 2020 brought about the pandemic, which knocked a lot of people down. Many people lost their jobs and their homes. Rosa was no exception, and she lost the job that was her only source of income for her family. They had to leave their rental home and move into a small apartment owned by her sister's family. Despite all the difficulties, Rosa never complained. She was always smiling, always friendly, and remained compassionate to others. The residents of the apartment building where she had previously worked under the cleaning company missed Rosa and decided to hire her personally. She was very happy that these people didn't abandon her and allowed her to continue doing her job. Of course, the income wasn't as much, but it was still better than nothing. Every time Rosa went to work, she had a smile on her face. It was evident that what she did brought her pleasure. One day, the tenants of the apartment building called Rosa to clean the huge penthouse. They told her that the apartment was going up for sale, and so everything needed to be spotless. They had no doubt that Rosa would do her job as good as she always did. When Rosa entered the apartment, she was simply amazed by its size. Yes, she had cleaned large apartments before, but not like this. There were 4 bedrooms, a huge kitchen, 2 bathrooms, and even access to the roof. It was fully furnished with taste and comfort in mind. As she cleaned, Rosa imagined how she could cook delicious meals for her family in such a kitchen, and how she could go out to the roof in the evenings to have a cup of coffee and admire the view of the city. It took all day for Rosa to diligently clean the entire apartment. When the tenants met up with her, they saw that she was very tired, but she continued to smile as she showed them the work she had done. A huge surprise awaited Rosa. As she collected her things and was about to leave, the tenants handed her a set of keys. Rosa didn't know what to say, but soon everything became clear. The residents of the apartment building were aware of Rosa's unfortunate circumstances and were so fond of her that they collected the money to rent this apartment for her for the next 2 years. Of course, utilities for such a large space were rather expensive, and Rosa was worried about how she could afford the cost. However, the tenants replied that they would handle it, so she shouldn't worry about this. When Rosa finally realized what these people were giving her, she couldn't believe it. She started crying tears of joy. All her life, she cleaned big houses for rich people, but even in her dreams, she could never imagine living in such a place herself. She didn't know how to thank these people who cared so much for her. Rosa had always been a very friendly woman, maintaining a good mood in even the most hopeless of situations, treating people with kindness and doing her job efficiently and conscientiously. That is why fate rewarded her with these kind people who came to her aid during difficult times. Now she could move into this new home with her family and live comfortably for the next 2 years. It took a long time for Rosa to recover from such joyful news. She walked around the penthouse and couldn't believe it was her new home. Her reaction was captured on video, which was subsequently posted online and immediately went viral because so many people were touched by her story. People in the comments admired the actions of the tenants and wrote that very few people were left in the world who would be so generous and compassionate. They congratulated Rosa on her new home and wished her good health and happiness. True, there were also sad comments. Some people wrote with regret that even though everything is fine with Rosa now, what would happen to her in 2 years? We hope that everything will turn out the best possible way for Rosa, that her and her family will live happily in this beautiful home, and that in 2 years she will have saved enough money to continue to provide for her family. What do you think about this story? Share your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click the like button. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet, and click on the bell icon so you don't miss our new incredible stories from around the world.